Good afternoon, mga pare ko, and welcome to the first episode of It's Tea Time, where we sip tea and talk about everything. As you all know, a little over a year ago, the whole world was forced to close their economy, and most countries are still suffering from this pandemic. But now, we made progress. Companies are creating vaccines, and a lot of people are now being vaccinated. And we are here to talk about one of those vaccines, Pfizer to be specific. And joining us today, coming all the way from their computers, we have Dr. Brian Ortega and Dr. Justin Hamsola.
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon,
Jasper.
Jasper.
Good afternoon din sa inyo. May you introduce yourselves para naman makilala kayo ng ating virtual studio audience?
Yes naman, I'm Dr. Brian Ortega, you can call me Dr. B, and I specialize in biomedical research. I seek ways to prevent and treat diseases that lead to illness or death. Biomedical scientists use biotechnological techniques to study biological processes and disease. They aim to develop successful treatments and cures. Biomedical research requires careful experimentation, development, and evaluation. It involves biologists, chemists, doctor, pharmacologists, and others.
Hi, ako naman po si Dr. Hamisola. You can call me Dr. J, and I specialize in clinical research. Researchers carry out investigation to find out which diseases are present, why they occur, what can treat or prevent them, what makes them more likely to happen, and many other aspects of health. Clinical trials are one aspect of clinical research. They aim to find out if a therapy, often a drug, is safe and effective to use when treating a specific condition.
Before we start, can you give us a brief background of Pfizer and the vaccine?
Well, Pfizer Inc. is an American multinational pharmaceutical corporation. Pfizer is one of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies and was ranked 64th on the 2020.
The Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine has not been approved or licensed by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, but has been authorized for emergency use by the FDA under an emergency use authorization to prevent COVID-19 for use in individuals 16 years of age or older.
With that given information, how can we know this medicine is safe to use? And if there are possible side effects, how can we know it won't damage our immune system permanently?
Generally, all vaccines come with the risk of side effects. Some of the most common side effects of the Pfizer vaccine include tenderness, swelling, and/or redness where the injection has been administered, headache, muscle ache, feeling tired, fatigue, fever, temperature above 37.8 degrees Celsius. Around 1 in 10 people will experience these side effects. Based on evidence from clinical trials, the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine was 95% effective at preventing laboratory-confirmed COVID-19 illness in people without evidence of previous infection.
What are the ingredients in the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine?
The Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine is a messenger RNA vaccine that has both synthetic or chemically produced components and enzymatically produced components from naturally occurring substances such as proteins. The vaccine does not contain any live virus. Its inactive ingredients include potassium chloride, monobasic potassium phosphate, sodium chloride, dibasic sodium phosphate, dehydrate, and sucrose, as well as small amounts of other ingredients. For more information, please visit cvdvaccine.com.
What about allergies and the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine?
In line with the CDC recommendations, we did not test our vaccine in people with a history of severe adverse allergic reactions to a vaccine or a vaccine ingredient. Overall, there were no safety signals of concern identified in our clinical trials, meaning there was no signal of any serious allergic reaction. Severe allergic reactions have been reported following the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine during mass vaccination outside of clinical trials. Pfizer is monitoring and reviewing all reports of severe allergic reaction in coordination with health authorities. The prescribing information has a clear warning or precaution that appropriate medical treatment and supervision should always be readily available.
Can your vaccine cause people to develop COVID-19?
No, the Pfizer and BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine are an mRNA vaccine which does not use the live virus but small portion of the viral sequence of the SARS-CoV-2 virus to instruct the body to produce the spike protein displayed on the surface of the virus. That spike protein then generates an immune response to the virus, potentially prevent infection. The vaccine does not allow the SARS immune response to the virus to potentially prevent infection. The vaccine does not allow the SARS-CoV-2 to replicate, and it cannot cause any known illnesses. No vaccine can cause a patient to develop the disease against they were vaccinated.
How long will you be watching people who have been vaccinated? How do we know that bad side effects can't happen long after vaccination if the vaccine's only been studied for less than a year?
Our trial is closely monitored by Pfizer and an outside independent group of experts called a Data Monitoring Committee, or DMC. Trial investigators also monitor participants' health, and participants in the trial attend regular planned follow-up visits as part of the trial. Pfizer and BioNTech will be conducting additional studies to determine how effective and safe the vaccine is in the real world and among specific risk groups such as healthcare workers and among nursing home residents. The safety of patients is and always will be our number one priority.
Thank you for your time, gentlemen. So, there you go. We now know more about the Pfizer's vaccine. Any advice you can give to everyone who is doubting to get vaccinated?
Yes, we encourage everyone to get vaccinated at any vaccine they see fit.
Because your safety is our number one priority.
Thank you, gentlemen. Round of applause to our doctors. That's all we have for today's episode. Until the next afternoon, everyone, where we sip tea and talk about everything. This is Tea Time, signing off.